when there are multiple offers on a house, does the highest bidder always get the house? That is the question for today's Frequently Asked Friday. And I'm Stephanie Steinbeck with Remax Realty. Um, it might surprise you to know that no, the highest bidder doesn't always get the house. A lot of times, the seller, when they're reviewing all of the offers that have come in on a property, the seller has to consider lots of factors. Sorry for the shaking. I have a puppy and she's dancing at the bottom of the tripod. The seller has to consider lots of factors when they're reviewing offers. For example, um, is this buyer cash? If they are, can they give us proof of funds, or have they already provided proof of funds showing that the money's in the bank? Um, is this a buyer that's bringing financing? And if so, what kind of financing and who's the lender? You wouldn't know this as a consumer, but within our real estate industry, lenders and realtors, we all have kind of professional reputations with each other. And there are some lenders that they go to bat for the clients, they work hard to close on time, they're proud of their reputation, they care about getting everybody to the table, to the best of their ability on time and getting the deal done. And there are the other lenders there are some really big banks with great reputations as good banks that they're tough to get loans through sometime, and they sort of have a reputation for closing on time. Those things matter to sellers when they're considering financing. There's some other factors as well. For example, the inspection, appraisal, earnest money. There are all these little terms of the offer besides just the price and the financing that matter to some sellers. Possession date can matter. If your seller needs possession of that house until a certain time, or to give them time to find other housing, those terms that the buyer brings in the offer, they can be really important, and they can actually make or break the deal for the buyer. The other thing that I would say is there's kind of an intangible that you need to look at when you're a seller, and you can talk with your realtor about this question. Does this buyer look like they're going to stick? For example, is this buyer's first house that they've made an offer on? A buyer who's made an offer on one house or a buyer who's made an offer on 10 houses, they're going to be in a different probably mindset. I think sellers assume like the first offer they've made on a house, they may think this was easy. I got into contract my first time. So they might be a little more likely to walk away if something isn't perfect. Whereas a buyer who's really worked hard to get into a contract on a house, I think sometimes sellers make that assumption. You know what? That particular buyer, they know how hard it is to get into contract, and they're going to work hard to make this one work. So those are some of the factors that can come into play when a seller is considering your offer as a buyer. It is really important that you work with an agent who can write strong offers and advise you on how the game is played, how you can make your offer as appealing as possible for the seller. What lender should you be working with or getting pre-approved by? What kinds of terms can you write in? How can your realtor build a good rapport with that listing agent to make sure that they're getting all the information you need to know so you can write a sweet offer that's going to be really appealing for that seller. I hope this was helpful. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or shoot me a message. Thanks again for watching and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.